All right, I want to talk about adding what's called criteria to a query. And really, that's the strength of writing SQL. Everything I've shown you so far, you're pulling every single record out of the database. So if if the database table has 2,000 records in it, you're pulling all those out, and maybe you're just grabbing certain fields or putting them in certain order. What criteria allows you to do is pull out subsets of data. For example, only people who live in a certain city. So I just want to show you how to do that, and again, the syntax and the keywords for that. So let me write a typical query first, and then we'll add what that criteria to it. So I'll do some individual fields here. So this will be an additional keyword, but how you do it is important as well. So again, as I've written it, if you don't use criteria, we're getting all the records, in this case, all 77 records from the table. So it's fine. What we've done is whittle down certain fields, but the criteria will let us whittle those records down even more. So as you're adding criteria, I would recommend do what I've done here. Just run it plain first. Take a look at your data, and then you can say, maybe I want just the people who live in Glendale. So when you look at your data, then you can start thinking about the criteria or the filtering or whatever you want to call that to the data that you see here. So let's try that. Let's go see if we can get just the Glendale people. So when you're adding criteria, the keyword is going to be where. Select fields from table, where, and then we'll have our condition out here. So that's an SQL keyword. It should come at the end. It should come right after the from clause, where, and then what you're gonna have here is some type of comparison. You're gonna have field equals this or field greater than that. So in this case, we want field city equal to Glendale, I guess it was. And let's run this, and then I'll talk more about the syntax if it works. So notice this is really where queries become more powerful. Instead of grabbing everybody out of that database, now we're getting just certain people, 22, I guess, who live in a particular city. So that's really the strength of writing queries, is that where clause. So again, keyword where, it should be a field, and I'll show you a different one where it has greater than equal to, but in this case equals, and then the value that you're trying to match on. So the importance of the value is it has to match something in the table. So if we misspell this word, we're probably going to get no results. So as you're writing your criteria and testing it, if that happens, just go back and double check your spelling and everything. So the field name should be one of these fields that you've pulled out, or one in the table. And if you're just looking for an exact match, you're going to use the equal sign. And then if it's a string or text field, you want to put single quotes around the value you're trying to match on. So even if it's a different value, such as I think Davistown is one in here, that needs to have quotes around it because it's a text or string field. So if it was a numeric field, it wouldn't need that.